From our Toronto studios, this is the Muslim News on Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum, I'm Zahra Syed. Our top story for today. Palestinian American Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib is condemning a political cartoon that depicts her next to an exploding pager. This follows a series of pager blast incidents in Lebanon last week attributed to Israel. The cartoon, published in the National Review on Thursday, features Tlaib questioning the explosion's oddity, referencing the use of pagers by members of Hezbollah. Tlaib described the work by cartoonist Henry Payne of the Detroit News as racist and warned that it could incite further hatred against Arab Muslims and Muslim communities. Along with his work on cartoons, Payne is a columnist for various conservative publications, including the National Review and the Weekly Standard. Dearborn Mayor Abdullah Hammoud, along with others, also described the cartoon as depicting anti-Arab bigotry. Tlaib is the only Palestinian American in Congress. She has been a vocal critic of Israel's war and violence, vowing to continue speaking out despite facing censure and backlash. In related news, lawmaker Rashida Tlaib has brought attention to the tragic loss of life in Palestine by entering a list of names of children killed by Israeli forces into the Congressional record. She describes Israel's ongoing war as one of the most documented horrific crimes against humanity. The list includes the names of more than 11,000 children. Its first 14 pages contain the names of 710 babies under the age of 1 who were killed during the onslaught. Tlaib's remarks come in the wake of a Palestinian Ministry of Health report detailing a significant number of children killed in Israeli strikes. She criticized congressional silence on the issue, questioning why Palestinian lives seem overlooked. Israel has killed over 41,000 Palestinians and injured more than 95,000 since it began its war on Gaza last October. A report in the British medical journal The Lancet in July estimated the death toll to be as high as 186,000. More than 10,000 Palestinians are missing and believed to be dead and buried beneath the rubble of hundreds of thousands of destroyed or damaged homes and other buildings. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry, more than 17,000 Palestinian children have been killed by Israeli forces. Israel has been accused of genocide by the International Court of Justice. Israeli forces raided and closed the office of the news outlet Al Jazeera in the Palestinian city of Ramallah on Sunday. Staff were ordered to vacate as the office was shut down for 45 days following a surge in scrutiny of media reporting on Israel's operations. Israeli soldiers confiscated documents and equipment, with Al Jazeera's bureau director Walid al-Omari condemning the raid as a violation of press freedom. Omari said Israeli soldiers tore down images of Al Jazeera reporter Shireen Abu Akleh, who was killed by Israeli gunfire in Jenin in May 2022. Footage aired by Al Jazeera showed Israeli forces entering the office and delivering the military order to Omari. On May 5th, the Israeli government decided to ban all Al Jazeera, close its offices in Israel, and restrict access to its website under a law passed by the Israel's parliament. But the office staff continued to operate from Ramallah. Israeli officials have frequently criticized Qatar-based television, particularly for its extensive coverage of Israel's war on Gaza, which has killed over 41,000 Palestinians and led to Israel being accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice. The Palestinian Journalists Syndicate condemned the action, calling it an attack on journalism and urging international organizations to intervene. The detention of a 10-year-old boy by German police during a Free-Palestine protest has sparked backlash on social media. Footage on X showed several German police officers first chasing a 10-year-old boy and then taking him to a police car after catching him. Many users mocked the Berlin police for chasing the boy. Staunchly pro-Israel Senator John Federman has voiced strong support for Israel's recent strikes targeting Hezbollah's communication systems. In a statement, the Democrat praised Israel's decision to detonate pagers and walkie-talkies, which it claims were used by Hezbollah. Since 1990, Fetterman has received over $200,000 from pro-Israel groups, according to Open Secret, which tracks money in U.S. politics and how it affects elections and public policy. Israel's attack in Lebanon killed 32 and injured more than 3,000, including children and doctors. The violence comes amid escalating tensions as Hezbollah retaliates with rocket attacks on an Israeli airbase. American officials are warning that these strikes could worsen the conflict, potentially leading to an all-out war. Meanwhile, Senator Bernie Sanders has criticized Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu's approach. He argues that such actions undermine any chance of a ceasefire in Israel's ongoing war on Gaza. Since last October, Israel has killed over 41,000 Palestinians, injured more than 95,000, and led to Israel being accused of genocide at the International Court of Justice. Lebanon's health ministry reports that Israeli airstrikes on Monday killed 274 people and injured an additional 727. The attacks have killed children, women, and paramedics. Israel's military has confirmed over 150 airstrikes targeting numerous locations, including near the Lebanese-Italian hospital Tyra. Residents of southern Lebanon received phone calls ordering them to move away immediately from any post that it claims is used by Hezbollah. The attack came days after at least 37 people were killed and over 3,000 others injured in 2 waves of wireless communication device explosions across Lebanon. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes have killed 24 Palestinians and injured 60 in Gaza over the past 24 hours, according to local health officials. The assaults included a targeted attack on a family home in central Gaza, killing 4 children and their mother. Indian Prime Minister Modi in the U.S. Sikh concerns case against the NSA Doval Shadows visit. Details come after the break. Stay tuned and we will be right back. Welcome back. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is calling for urgent global reforms at the UN General Assembly, emphasizing that reform is the key to relevance for peace and development. Modi was speaking at the Summit of the Future in New York, which concluded today. He highlighted the need for collective global strength to address issues like terrorism, cyber threats, and space conflicts. Modi's visit coincided with a meeting earlier between senior U.S. officials and Sikh advocates. This was to discuss threats facing the Sikh community, including a foiled Indian assassination plot against activist Gurpatwant Singh Pannu last year. That meeting addressed concerns about transnational repression and the alleged involvement of Indian intelligence in targeting dissident activists abroad. Pannu has since filed a lawsuit against the Indian government and officials. This includes India's National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval. He is accusing them of conspiring to assassinate him in the United States. Observers say that Doval's conspicuous absence from Modi's delegation during his meeting with President Joe Biden on Saturday in Delaware has fueled speculation that he may have been detained in the United States. They also note that concerns over the Sikh community and Doval's absence highlighted underlying tensions in the India-US relations. India's PM Modi addressed the Indian diaspora in New York on Sunday. He stated that he has important issues to deal with in his 3rd term. Attendees reminded him of his party's promise to replace mosques in Kashi and Mathura with Hindu temples, a repeat of what happened to the Babri Mosque in Ayodhya. He was seen smiling in response to the chants. The Missouri Supreme Court is hearing urgent arguments regarding Imam Marcellus Khalifa Williams' execution, which is scheduled for Tuesday. Williams was convicted in 2001 for the 1998 murder of former reporter Felicia Gale. He has been at the center of a legal battle. His lawyers, alongside St. Louis County prosecuting attorney Wesley Bell, have filed a brief requesting the court to remand the case for a more thorough hearing. This is based on recent DNA evidence, which has cleared him since 2017. The brief argues that the circuit court neglected vital evidence and incorrectly ruled that the DNA evidence mishandling did not violate Williams' rights. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, is urging Missouri Governor Michelle Lynn Parson to block the impending execution. Despite the compelling evidence and support from the St. Louis County prosecutor to vacate his conviction, Judge Bruce Hilton has denied the motion. The Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, is urging Missouri Governor Michael Lynn Parson to block the impending execution. Despite the compelling evidence and support from the St. Louis County prosecutor to vacate his conviction, Judge Bruce Hilton has denied the motion. CARE warns that moving forward with the execution would constitute a profound injustice and is calling on all Americans to join in demanding justice for Williams. CARE National Deputy Director Edward Ahmed Mitchell says Imam Williams has served as Imam of his prison unit for decades, and the evidence proves his innocence. According to CNN, at least 200 people sentenced to death since 1973 were later exonerated, 4 of them in Missouri. Thousands of students in Georgia are rallying alongside educators and gun control advocates to call for a future free from gun violence. The protest, organized by the group March for Our Lives, or the MFOL, was ignited by the mass shooting at Apalachee High School, where 2 students and 2 teachers were killed by a student at the school on September 4th. Participants voiced frustration over inaction from lawmakers, urging them to implement sensible gun laws to prevent future tragedies. Director of Organizing for MFOL, Gaby Salazar, says that despite widespread support for gun reform, political obstacles persist, adding that guns kill more kids than any other cause in Georgia. Key aides in North Carolina Lieutenant Governorate Mark Robinson's gubernatorial campaign has resigned. They include his campaign manager, senior advisor, and finance director. This is following a CNN report about comments the Republican leader made more than a decade ago on a pornography site. The scandal has drawn criticism from his Democratic opponent, Attorney General Josh Stein, who said Robinson's rise is linked to Donald Trump's backing. Stein is calling for accountability amongst candidates who have supported Robinson. Conservative media mogul Rupert Murdoch is seeking to transfer voting rights of his family's trust to his eldest son, Lachlan Murdoch. Analysts say the move aims to keep Fox News under conservative leadership after his passing. In a Reno, Nevada court, he argued that granting Lachlan Murdoch control is in the best interest of all his beneficiaries, including his other children. However, observers say that a potential legal setback could empower Lachlan's siblings, James, Prudence, and Elizabeth, to move Fox News from its conservative roots. This could reshape the media landscape, as Fox News has significantly influenced U.S. politics for 2 decades, including aiding and abetting the rise of Donald Trump to power. China has sentenced an Uyghur prison guard to 7 years in prison for revealing sensitive information about political prisoner Ilham Tohti. Gopur Abdul Rashid was arrested for disclosing details of Tohti's harsh treatment by Chinese authorities, including his solitary confinement and poor health. Abdul Rashid's actions reportedly alerted other inmates' families, leading to fears for Tohti's well-being. Tohti is an economist and prominent advocate for Uyghur rights. He is currently serving a life sentence after being convicted on charges of separatism by China in a controversial trial in 2014. Little information about his condition has emerged since his imprisonment, raising concerns amongst human rights advocates. Amnesty International has urged Chinese authorities to release Tohti. Observers say the case underscores ongoing international calls for Tohti's release, with rights groups and lawmakers advocating for his freedom and increased scrutiny on China's treatment of Uyghurs. Tohti has received several international awards since his imprisonment. This includes the Václav Havel Human Rights Prize and the Sakharov Prize. The Muslim-majority Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Philippines is set for its first democratic elections in 2025. Analysts say it marks a significant milestone in its journey towards autonomy. Bangsamoro, a region nestled in the southern Philippines, has long been a flashpoint of tension. For decades, the Moro Islamic Liberation Front fought for independence, driven by a desire to protect the Islamic identity of their people in a predominantly Catholic country. Vice President of a Turkish NGO, IHH, Hussein Oruç, who is a member of the International Monitoring Team, emphasized that these elections are crucial for the ongoing peace process in the region. Oruç highlighted the need for a general amnesty to foster lasting peace, as unresolved issues from the past continue to pose obstacles. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV. Assalamu alaikum.